The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Presented, as always, by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Labor's Local 663, Shelter Insurance Agents Grant Baker in Aurora, Sean Holman in Lockwood. The Bank of Billings, Doak Propane, Great Southern Bank, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, and as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. We're going about 115 miles north of the studio here where I sit to Lone Jack High School and head women's basketball coach Brooke Shull. And Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Guys are 16-8 on the season. You're Class 3, District 14. First, talk a little bit about how the season has went for Lone Jack.
Well, we've kind of had some ups and downs. We've started pretty strong for the most part and then hit kind of a bumpy road, hitting some big teams in our conference tournament. And then we bounced back and we've been on a pretty nice little streak here this last few games.
Tell us a little bit about the makeup of your team. Where the class, kind of break down the classes. Is it senior dominated? What's the makeup look like?
Well, we're very young, actually. We start 2 freshmen, a sophomore, and 2 juniors. So our sophomore class is pretty heavy. Our freshman class is pretty heavy. And my best athlete, my leading scorer, is a sophomore. She moved in last year and dominated then, and has continued to do that as well this year. So it's been great to have a young team to start out my career with.
Well, give the viewers just an idea of the conference that you play in. You guys are just outside of Kansas City, maybe 30 miles from Lee's Summit. But tell us a little bit about the conference, kind of handicap that a little bit, and where you guys finished.
So we are in the I-70 conference. We play some Class 3 teams, some Class 1 teams, and Class 2 teams all across the board. Wellington Napoleon is one of our teams in there, so they're a big, tough team to go against. And then we have some others, and right now we fall right in the middle. So any given night could kind of go either way for us, but we've challenged some of the bigger teams, the more talented teams than us, but we've done a great job with that. And yeah.
Well, you're 16-8 right now. You're getting ready to play a district championship against Barstow, who kind of turned that district on its head. Barstow is actually the 5 seed in that district. You might kind of, and you guys are the 2 seed, kind of run that down, talk a little bit about that district and how it's played out.
Yeah. I mean, Barstow was a heavy number 1 seed last year, and they had a couple of Division I players that graduated last year. And so they're kind of on a little bit of a rebuilding year, I think. I think they lost a player to a transfer. And so they were kind of having, some ups and downs. And I think that kind of contributed to where they fell into the seeding. We finished strong with the second highest record, right under University Academy, who have played some really tough teams. They're a really young team as well. And so, University Academy of Barstow had a great game. It was fun to watch. And just in the end, I think maybe a little bit of the senior group was able to pull it out over a young University Academy team.
Coach, tell us a little bit about, again, we're visiting with Lone Jack head women's basketball coach Brooke Shull. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you went to high school, college, and how you ended up there at Lone Jack, and how long have you been there?
Okay, well, I graduated from Blue Springs High School in 2002 and went to Kansas City, Kansas Community College and played a year there of basketball. Then I pretty much went into mom and wife mode and did that for a few years. I did coach at Raytown as an assistant for a few years in there, and then took a lot of time off to be with my kids. And the job opening came open in 2020. And I saw it and thought, you know what? I'd really love to try this out, and uh, took a leap. And they took a leap on me, and this is my second year here. And so it's been a lot of fun, and really challenging coming into sports. As, into sports with all of the COVID stuff, which was
Yeah.
a big change for me for what I was used to in the past. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Well, and that's you mentioned the COVID, and there are no classes in college to deal with the pandemic as a coach. What's been the biggest challenge? When I talk to coaches, a lot of times it's being able to convey to the kids that, hey, tonight may be the last time we play.
Yeah, that has definitely been some things we talked about last year a lot. This year, at the beginning of the season, that was something that we really focused on to say, hey, we got to go out there every night and just be prepared that, this could be it for the year. And so you just have to go out and enjoy it and do your best, and take what it gives you, and we'll go from there. We did get, I mean, I feel pretty lucky that we had the season we had. Last year, we did have a quarantine that knocked us down towards the end of the season, and thankfully this year we didn't have any of that. We did lose a player for a couple of games. One of my second leading scorer, we lost her for a couple of tough games, and so that was something that I was. We were all kind of looking at, thinking, "Oh, is everybody going to start dropping? Are we going to start having, losing players or losing our team for a bit?" And we didn't. We bounced right back, and thankfully nobody else was got sick, and our team's been going strong ever since.
Very good. Got 16-8 on the season. You're getting ready to play in the district championship game against Barstow. What are some things you feel like right now? You mentioned you've got a young team. What are you doing? What are you doing really well right now as a team that's got you to this point?
I think our rebounding, something that I've noticed a lot of teams, I think, must just take for granted, and just that the ball is going to come to them. And we've really focused on, even throughout the whole year, we just have to box out and get those rebounds. We have to keep the teams from getting those second chance shots and allowing us to have those second chance shots. So that's probably one of the biggest things, that we've had a couple of players that have just come in and taken over the boards, and that's really helped us. I think our defense is stepping up a bit. Like I said, we're young and we like to foul, and so that gives us some struggles. But I think those two things are really, really coming together for us.
You're taking on Barstow, the 5 seed in the district championship. Uh, I don't believe they're on your schedule.
No.
What can you compare Barstow to maybe a team that you've played already?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of teams that have a little bit of their skill set, and I would say, maybe a Concordia team, maybe Santa Fe, and even St. Paul. They've got, just really good, strong player, and then some good role players. And so I think that's kind of where we compare Barstow. Holly Woods is an excellent player, and she's going to be tough to defend tonight. And then, making sure we catch on all those role players that are, we overplay her. They're going to be there for her. So
Very good. What time do you tip off, and where's the game?
we tip off at 6 o'clock in Higginsville at Lafayette County High School.
Very good. Well, Coach Shull, we certainly appreciate you being generous with your time here today at the Missouri Sports Network. I know this was kind of a quick setup, and but we're certainly glad you've been part of the show. It's our 250th show at this point since July 1st when we launched, and we wish you well tonight, and make a run, and we'll get you back on here.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. Lone Jack head women's coach Brooke Shull here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.